everything right now for you is just like literally posting content, because in a matter of like 2-3 months from now, you can be the number one authority in Bulgaria in this market, like in the heartbreak, sort of
Yeah,
like dealing
yeah,
with
yeah.
heartbreak
That's
with,
my goal. That's
yeah,
my goal.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I'm super excited because like I think you also have the vision right now, but like I can see where this is going, and that's why like
Mm.
I really
Mm.
wanna help you establish yourself on YouTube as well, because the long form, and as you mentioned at the beginning, you doing podcasts as well plus the YouTube stuff. Yeah, it's just gonna be amazing. I want to share my screen here just so we can like start. Okay, cool. So the big thing in here with like the sort of like your niche, the big keyword here is heartbreak. You mentioned
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
this overthinking as well.
yeah, yeah.
Do we have anything else that I'm missing in terms of like
See,
big?
basically, my mentorship program, I have three topics I'll be covering. It's
Mm-hmm.
basically relationships,
Yep.
and the most keyword I'll be focusing on is heartbreak for now, just for now.
Yep.
So from the mental health, I will go with overthinking because this is the root cause of depression, burnout, and everything else.
Yep.
And this is the most like obvious thing for them. And in the terms of spirituality, I will focus on the mission and purpose of life. Purpose, basically, that's the keyword is purpose.
Amazing.
For now, I focus only on relationship because I have book and I want to just cover this topic 100% own it.
Yeah. So that's what I was gonna say. I think our focus right now should be the on this like big keyword with heartbreak, because as I mentioned, there are like three big things to consider when it comes to like coaching in this space. It's the number one thing is like pain. So
Mhm.
in the heartbreak niche, obviously people that are actively dealing with heartbreak right now, the pain for them is like huge. Then the second thing is obviously like income, for like people willing to invest in fixing this pain. And then
Mhm.
it's trust. You
Yeah.
are already like starting to build the trust. That's what we're gonna fix with YouTube uh,
Mm.
right here, right? Because like people, the thing with like short clips and stuff, they're obviously like awesome for kind of like brand awareness, people seeing your face, you know. But like with YouTube, what we're going to do is like videos for like 20, 30, 40 minutes. There's really like no rule to this, so that people can see your entire story, your way of thinking, and all of that, right? But I think all of these three pillars, relationships, mental health, and spirituality, when you, in a couple of months from now, when you combine all of them, it's going to be like super powerful,
Yeah.
right? But for now, just because I'm studying, like I'm seeing your content, seeing that you're
Mm.
taking off, I'm like, yeah, we should definitely just focus on this one thing, the heartbreak thing.
Mm.
Like that's,
Mm. Yeah.
yes,
100%.
yes, you can make like some videos here and there about like overthinking, mental health, like finding your purpose. But if the, you know, is the saying, like if it's not broken, like let's not try to fix it, right? Because if
Yeah.
heartbreak works and you're clearly like taking off with this, let's go with this.
Mm.
So just to kind of like go over the strategy for YouTube, and we can cover Instagram in a sec as well, and like TikTok.
Mhm. Mhm.
But the big thing is YouTube. What you're gonna do is basically like put out, you know, long form videos, and
Mhm.
then from here, super simple in the description. I'm just gonna write in here. Um,
Mhm.
as I mentioned to you, we're gonna send people to a WhatsApp. In your case, you mentioned that other app.
Viber, yeah.
Yeah. And we're gonna like send people there for like a
Mhm. Mhm.
conversation.
Mhm.
And the call to action is like super simple in the description. It's like just message me if you want my help 101 so that you can deal with the
Mm.
heartbreak or whatever. Like we can do something like
Mm.
that. So it's, you know, YouTube video, then a WhatsApp call to action, then you have a conversation with them, then you get on a call with them to kind of like
Mhm.
understand their situation better, and then you get them into like your program, which as we talked about last time, we don't have to
Mm.
go in like super deep in this call, but it can be literally at first it can just be like you coaching them like with calls just like this. Like you don't need like a complex
Yeah.
program right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
The idea is that you already have a huge influx of people who are messaging you, commenting. We gotta like make use of this attention. Like we don't have to overly complicate things with like a huge website with no, just like send people to like for them to text you, you have a conversation and then you get on calls. Like that is the entire mechanism right now. Because in a couple of months from I mean not even once we get into the YouTube strategy, it can take like 1 month and a half and you can start to already like make a lot of money like with the attention that you're getting. So my intention right now is for us to like speed up the process and be super intentional with what we're posting. And this is kind of like the entire mechanism for like YouTube. It's super simple. For Instagram and TikTok, in here, it's basically the same thing. You put videos out, and then for example, for Instagram, you can we're gonna work on this. You can build like super simple mini chat automations to send people to YouTube.
Yeah.
Right. So basically, you post like short form content, and then you tell people like, "Hey, I posted an entire YouTube video about this. Drop in a comment, and I'm gonna send you that." This is so that they build a lot more trust with you, and they watch a lot more of your content, and then from Instagram as well. So I'm just gonna like draw an arrow and TikTok. The link in bio, again, super simple, is this WhatsApp.
Okay.
Right. So or like the Viber app. And the CTA is the same. Like drop me a message, if you want me to help you like one-on-one. Like that's it. The idea is to move them from the short form platforms to YouTube as much as possible.
Okay.
Because I was looking over your TikTok, you got to think if you have like 50,000 and you're going to get there in a super short amount of time. If you get like 50,000 views, like it's one thing to get 50,000 views on a TikTok. It's a whole nother thing to get 50,000 views on a YouTube video.
Yeah.
Because at that point, you can make like 20,000 a month, like with 50,000 views on a really good YouTube video. And that is my intention. Because like the content already works. There's a huge demand for it. The heartbreak niche, awesome. So again, right now, it's about like taking people from the short form platforms to the YouTube.
Okay.
Does this make sense so far? With like the
definitely 100%.
Okay, cool. So with YouTube, and then I'm gonna we can do a little bit of like a research live in here. With the YouTube, the whole thing, like the way I see it is, there are like really like two types of videos. And this can apply obviously to your niche as well. So is the super like educational in-depth videos. And these can be like whiteboard videos or laptop videos, screen recording, meaning you take a whiteboard, you take like a tablet like I have right here, and you scribble down stuff. And like the point with that is to is obviously like walk people through some more in-depth stuff and like really educate them and provide the value. And then there's basically just the mindset, like you just talk, like mindset, like talking videos, in which you literally set up your phone and you just talk about like a subject. These are like the two big types of videos. Again, my thing in here is like, let's not like overthink this, and let's not try to like overcomplicate anything.
Sure.
So this is like two types of videos. Now, and I'm gonna walk you through kind of like my research process, and like we can look at some examples. Let me just go back here. For the topics, as I mentioned, I would start right now with relationships and tackle this niche and all of the pain points that people have. So it's basically with YouTube, you got to keep in mind YouTube is a search engine. Right? So unlike TikTok or Instagram, where people just scroll, people on YouTube, they actively like search for stuff. So it's like, if you have someone that is searching for like something like how to deal with heartbreak, this in and of itself can be a YouTube video title, right?
Yeah.
And the whole process for like preparing YouTube videos, just because again, for me, it's all about like speed. I don't want you to like spend, 5 days on a video. For me, it's like this. The number one thing is the title. So I get a title down. Once I get a title down, the second thing is breaking the video down into sections or chapters. So I'm just going to put in here chapters. So I'm just going to give a quick example here so it makes sense. So this video with like how to deal with a heartbreak. I would do an intro in which I'm basically saying, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can deal with a heartbreak. So if you're dealing with that right now, this is going to be super useful for you. And just a quick story. I went through this. I did this. So you tell a little bit about what you went through. And then you immediately jump into the value. So this is like intro plus story. And then you immediately like jump into like the value. For example, it can be like the first thing. It can be acknowledging, if I'm misspelling this, excuse me, but like acknowledging the pain.
Okay.
I don't know, just ideas for like the big sort of chapters, right?
Yeah.
And then once you have these down, you can put them on a tablet, on your notepad, or whatever. If we're talking about like a simple mindset video in which you just like talk, you just talk freely, and you make sure you cover all of these topics, all of these chapters. The idea is like, the more natural the videos are, the better, because you don't want to do a script. You don't want to do like a ChatGPT. Hey, this is how you deal with heartbreak. Step number 1. Like you want things to be human. You want it to be organic. Also for YouTube, what you're gonna like once you get into this mind state of like, oh, this is so easy. Like I just gotta like, first of all, you really have to believe in what you're saying. Once you get into that mindset of like, oh, this is what I've been through and I'm just going to help people with that, it's going to be like so much easier for you because it's not going to feel forced. You don't have to write any scripts. You literally talk. And people need to hear you talk, and they need to like watch hours and hours of your content, because I mentioned this in one of the workshops or like master classes that we did. It's like Google has this rule, right? With like people on average got to watch like 7 hours of your content to make a purchase. Right? So this 7 hours, this is the idea with YouTube. It's like we're trying to reach this 7 hours as fast as possible. How do we do that? We post videos that are long form. And again, my intention is for you to be able to sit down 40 minutes, film a video, one take, without like a complicated script, without like any of this. It feels natural, it feels organic, and it provides value to people. And then, again, you just send them literally to, hey, send me a message and let's see if we can work together. And that's basically it. Now, for the big videos with like educational videos and the screen recording videos, these can be a little bit more complex. I'm going to show you like some examples. But the whole point in here is we tackle the big pain points in the heartbreak/relationships niche.
Okay.
We provide as much value as possible. We structure the videos as much as possible with like chapters. And then we send people to that link to talk to us, right? Like
basically, Andre, yes, what I want to share with you is, because of this book, now I'm getting to really, I will become the number one expert in Bulgaria, because the method I'm combining, it is combining from all the best experts in the world, plus my spiritual point of view, which makes me unique even in the world overall.
Yeah.
So now really I'm going deeper and deeper into my understanding of everything, because I know the different parts, but now combining it into a book, which is a method basically. In this book I'm giving complete method, step by step by step by step by step. Very simple, very easy. And I have 12 chapters, from which 2 are introductory and the rest 10 is like different topics. For example, the first talking about the ego death, or the life crisis they are going through. This is the first, because there are seven stages every person goes into overcoming their heartbreak. 7 steps, yes. This one thing. So the first one is the shock or the ego death. The second part is denial. Okay, they become like, oh, what happened? Now I have to. So basically, also the first part, there is overthinking in the shock phase. They're asking questions: why I'm going through this? What's going on? Why is this happening? Why he left me? She left me. Maybe overthinking. Basically, yes, this is the stage of overthinking. Then denial. This is the addiction phase. They go into complementary actions like drinking or marijuana or emotional eating. All these things is going on. Yes. After this, can I open the book so I can?
Yeah, sure.
Because I just had this conversation with my editors, and just 1 second. Amazing, brother. The book will be amazing. If I had this book in my first heartbreak for 21 days, I finished the problem with the sorrow, with the overthinking.
Yeah, this is gonna be amazing, and we definitely gotta like work on the strategy for launching that as well. But again, as long as you have that like big audience, especially with YouTube, you just put the link in the description, brother, and then like that's it. Like it can literally be as simple as that. But yeah, walk me through kind of like the we don't have to go in depth, but just
just overview.
Yeah, let's do an overview of the steps of the 7 stages.
Basically, I'm just going to narrate to you what are the chapters of the book, because now we have this. So yes, as I told you, just 1 second. Okay, here, yeah. So we have the first 2 are like an overview, my story, then the problem, the different stages, and then from chapter 3 I start. The chapter 3 is the ego death or the life crisis, or this is like the shock, how they are going through this. I give one technique which is called havening, which is soothing the nervous system and is bringing the painful emotional elements down. Like the emotional pain is going immediately down. It's a very powerful technique.
Yeah.
So then in chapter 4, I'm talking about overthinking, or their desire to have answers for why it happened and why we came to this separation. Constantly thinking, cannot stop thinking. And this thinking, overthinking, is the reason for depression, burnout. Everything is coming from overthinking. So this is chapter 4. Chapter 5, we're talking about escapism or denial. This is the denial phase. So phase 1 is chapter 3 and 4. I told you, shock and overthinking is part 1.
Yeah.
The second part is denial, which is basically they're turning into escaping, activities like drugs and alcohol and smoking marijuana. Just to forget about it. So then step number 3, we're coming to the sorrow part, basically the depression part. Or they start to get morose. Okay, I cannot go back to this person. Things are over now. I cannot. I mean, they start to grieve. Then the grief comes, and 25% of people get into deep depressive episode. Even some commit suicide. You know this. So I have strategy also for this, how to prevent this. So the next one is about balancing the nervous system. I speak about the circadian rhythm. You know about this circadian rhythm?
Yeah.
Yes, in this I speak about circadian rhythm. There is one guy very famous, Dr. Sachin Panda. He's speaking about how to sleep properly, how to eat properly, to get your nervous system under balance with these cycles of the sun and moon. Yeah. That's basically the idea. Then the next chapter is about the no contact rule. I challenge them for next 21 days to not, because that's the next phase, the bargaining phase. After the depression phase comes the bargaining. Or in this phase, they start to think, maybe if I go back to my ex, things will be better now. Maybe I have to call him or her, text him. So they start to, get, okay, maybe go back to the old version. But I tell them the 21 rule I give them, don't contact. Now I'm going to give you my secret weapon, which I learned in India. And in the psychological, I'm certified hypnosis and NLP practitioner. I have certificate. I give them 21 days of subconscious reprogramming. That is what is solving the problem. Because if you focus on the nervous system and these things, they will help you, but the overthinking will not stop. And with this subconscious, I explain about the subconscious mind, conscious and subconscious, how they're working. And I explain the power of meditation, why meditation is the number one method, which is proven in the world to help people suffering with sorrow and overthinking about their ex and grieving their how we say, grieving their breakup with the power of meditation. 21 days. It is scientifically proven. If they hear my voice, what I'm gonna, you know what is hypnosis, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give them hypnotic. I will work with my therapist. I will prepare this very, very nicely, put with NLPs and everything inside. 21 evenings. They listen to this every day without a break. Day 7, they will start to feel completely different. After 21 days, the cycle is over, so they will start to live again free. But this doesn't solve the whole problem. I will explain now. These books solve only first problem, which is stop overthinking, stop the sorrow. So going back to the chapters, I have the no contact rule. Then I go into the topic of subconscious and conscious mind, and I explain how the meditation works and why they should listen 21 days. After this, we go into the next phase, which is after the bargaining is finished, they start to get angry. Their energy is up, their energy, and they become angry. They become, wow, this guy, that girl, they start to spew all the, the poison. And some people have issues with anger. They break things, they become very dangerous. I give them also how to read your emotions, because your emotion is a messenger. I teach them about emotions and how to pacify your anger issues if you have these kind of things. Then we go into the attachment theories. Have you heard about this?
Yeah, of course.
As this is the next book is going to be about this. But now I give them just the brief overview of this topic, because they need to know that the main issue is not about overthinking, it's about fear of abandonment. And this abandonment is making them, suffocate their ex, and that's why they break up with them. That's the main reason. But this will be tackled in the next. Basically, I see my job as done in this topic of relationships. First, I take them from breakup. I help them to stop overthink about their past relationship and start the healing process of grieving, not grieve anymore, to open a new page. Then, after this, they need to forgive. They need to. That's the next topic. This is the last chapter of my book. After the attachment styles, attachment theory is about grieving, self-empathy, and journaling. How to open new page of your life. Now it's over. You have forgiven your ex. You have done your job. It's integrated. 21 days finished. Havening technique for soothing your nervous system has done. Also, you have done some practice on the the circadian rhythm practices, sleeping, eating good, doing the basic stuff, having accountability partner. And then the last thing is you have to forgive about this person to, move on now. That is the whole book. This is part 1 of the problem. Part 1 of the problem with people with relationship issues is because they are overthinking and now they're grieving. Okay, now I help you with this 21-day audio. The next one, after this I will start, is about attachment styles. Now we go deeper. Now we go the reason why you attract such a personality in your life who is making you suffer so much. But is it him or is it you? We go deeper into the childhood. Again, there I give them the 4 different attachment styles. What is the wound of each attachment? Of the 3 that are wounded. And then I give them solution for each and give them again 21-day hypnotic meditation, sleep hypnosis, which I solve this issue of abandonment, childhood abandonment, trauma. I finish there.
Yeah.
This is the second book I will cover, and I will promote this second book in my chapter about attachment style. More or less, this is the main thing.
Okay. Awesome. So I took notes of everything. Perfect. What is really amazing with this is how I would approach this specifically for YouTube. You have all of these stages, right?
Yeah.
You can, for example, you can make a YouTube video. So a YouTube video in which you literally break down what you told me in here, the 7 stages, right? Or you can break down all of these, 7 stages into like subtopics, and all of those subtopics can be YouTube videos in which you go more in depth. And then what we create with this basically is like the ecosystem of your content, because everything is tied together. Everything is connected. Right? So it's not like you're talking about like a random topic here, then a random topic there. Everything is connected. And because you already have 7 stages, you already have like the plan and the outline and the flow for the book, this all comes together like super nicely. Now I think for you, like, you already have all of the knowledge you need with this. And again, it's just a case of finding like the formats for YouTube, the formatting that works, and just like filming the videos. Now, if it works for you, I would love to kind of like jump into studying some like channels, and we can talk about like some formats for YouTube videos.
Perfect.
One word that I really want to highlight here for YouTube, it's this concept of, and it's gonna sound like super weird at first, juxtaposition. Hopefully I'm spelling this right. So this concept is basically, and I'm gonna show you like some videos for you to know what I mean. So this concept is like, you have a thumbnail or a style for the video, which is kind of like either basic or weird in a way. Like it gives people that like reaction, like, what is this? And then once they click on the video, you give them like the actual, this is a hard, by the way, you give them like the actual value. So first you have like a bit of confusion, like, oh, who is this guy? When they see the thumbnail. And then once they click on the video, they see like, oh, wait a minute, like this is actually a like really, really like in-depth, valuable video. What this creates, because we want people to obviously click on the videos, right? What this creates is this curiosity that, oh, like I really want to, like, for example, let's say you make a video talking about like dealing with the let me scroll here, dealing with like the no contact rule for 21 days. Let's say you do an in-depth video about that. If the thumbnail is you in a like a super basic setting, whatever, like people are gonna be like, oh, this is an in-depth topic, but like the video seems super basic. Like, what is this? Like, I gotta click on it, Like, that's what we're after. After that reaction, like, oh, I really want to click on this video. For example, like if we go over Perplexity, this is like for researching like topics and like pain points. I can go with something like, give me the top pain points and things people struggle with when it comes to dealing with heartbreak, right? And in here you can turn on social, so we get like sources from like Reddit and stuff. And this is just for you to get a super quick idea. I know you already know these things, but just a quick idea in terms of like, what are people struggling with? So for example, self-doubt, depression, all of the things that we already talked about. So for example,
Perplexity, what do you use it for? And when do you use Grok, ChatGPT, and Perplexity? Can you just, for one sentence?
So ChatGPT is for writing content. Perplexity, AI, and Grok are, the way I use them, are more for deep research. So whenever I want to research a topic, a niche, pain points, things that people struggle with, questions that people have, in order for me to take those questions and transform them into content, I use Perplexity, for example. This is super good because you can ask it like, give me the top questions people have regarding dealing with heartbreak, right? I can ask it that.
Very fast, yes.
And like, look at this, how I deal with overwhelming sadness.
That's amazing. That's how for a YouTube video, basically.
Exactly, brother. Like, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, for example, how do I stop obsessing over my ex? right? So this is a thing that people are actively talking about on social media, and because this is doing research on like, and you can see the sources in
Wow.
here.
Yes, yes, yes,
For
yes.
example, this is a Reddit link. We can go on it with like the answering the most common breakup questions. So Reddit is amazing for this space because you can basically go in here, see what are
Wow.
the top questions that like people have, and then what do? You turn these questions into YouTube videos. So, for example,
Yes.
I'm just picking this one. How do I rebuild my sense of self, and confidence after heartbreak? So you turn this into a YouTube video title, like how to rebuild your sense of confidence after a breakup. Boom. And that's a thing that people are actively like searching for, right?
Yes. Andre, to just tell you something, if you allow me to. Basically, I was thinking about this, and
Yeah.
about the trainings. I just want them to be really really extensive, because there is a lot of things to be mentioned, like 30, 40 minutes as you mentioned. But about these topics now we're reading, I can basically start a video and I read, okay, when will this pain end? How long does it take to help you? And I make, let's say, a video like common questions about heartbreak, something like this. And I start one by one, one by one, one by one. I speak from my heart, my stories, my this, my that. This is more conversation for me, very to answer this. But do you think is a very good idea to have this extensive training of each of these chapters I will be having in my book, and this will be like the content for this for the educational stuff. And when I speak about with some more personal things, I just open and I read. Okay, some people ask me how do I overcome the pain of when will the pain end? How long does it take? So guys, see, for example, and I start speaking from
Yeah. Yeah. So these type of videos would be awesome because they're like kind of like Q&A videos. So you take a
yes.
big set of questions and you just go through them. Absolutely. What I wanted to like highlight here is the fact that you can find like specific things that people ask, turn those topics into YouTube videos, and directly, because the idea here is, as I told you, go in super in depth on one particular topic. For example, dealing with this sense of like you're losing who you are after a breakup, you're losing your
Okay.
confidence. So I'm Georgie. I make a YouTube video of 50 minutes, right? Helping
Yes.
people deal with that. So that is like a
Wow.
50-minute masterclass they get for free
Amazing.
from you for one
Amazing.
topic.
Yes.
And then as you
Yes.
can see here, the best thing about your niche, brother, is that the pain is through the roof, basically.
Yep.
So
Yep.
you will constantly have things to talk about. What I'm trying to get to right now is that if we start doing two YouTube videos per week right now, tackling
Okay.
like specific questions, specific things, specific pain points in here, and going super in depth, the value through that is just going to be like, it's just going to be huge. Because for example, like if right now we're taking like some questions in here, then we go over to YouTube, and then we try to like for example, how to deal um with heartbreak, sadness, I don't know, let's we can like we can instantly like see some, for example, 7 stages after a breakup, right? This is literally
Yeah.
like a video talking about that. We can start to see like patterns, because what I'm trying to look for whenever I'm building a strategy is I'm trying to study the patterns of titles of topics that people have in that niche. So for example, for you, it's pattern recognition in terms of titles, copywriting, thumbnails from the US, from like the West, and applying that for the Bulgarian market.
Yes. Yes.
Because
Yes.
that
Yes.
is how we
Okay.
will dominate and literally like crush the game, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
With the YouTube videos, there are a lot of, and I talked about this in like the one of the master classes, but there are a lot of there are a lot of like different formats that you can use. So like formats for titles. Obviously, for you, you're gonna have to translate these, but just so I write them in English, you can have something like watch this if you're if you're depressed from a heartbreak. This is like the what what we would call like the call out format. So you literally tell people like, if you're feeling like this, then watch this, like click on this.
Yeah.
This is like, for example, like this video, like to anyone going through a breakup, boom. Another one is what's really like obviously super useful is this super simple format with how to deal with, you know, like the how-to videos. Like this is super like sort of like educational. This is really simple. Then you have the storytelling format for the titles. So this is again just formats for titles. Storytelling is like how I, so you see the difference, how to versus how I dealt with, how I overcame, how I how I dealt with like the sadness from my breakup, how I recovered, how I did this. Storytelling. Then you have videos with like something like 5 signs you are moving on from your ex.
Yeah.
Again, these are formats. You can replace the actual. These are just examples, but like for you to understand like formulas and formats. Another one that is really, really popping right now on YouTube is this: give me, let's say, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And I will help you move on from your ex.
Yeah.
So these are just like a couple of formats that you can use. Obviously, you can like spend a little bit of time to just understand again, what are the patterns from the really like top videos, top creators in like the West. And then you take those and you bring them in the Bulgarian market. Like I have friends, one of my best friends and like a mentor of mine, he literally did this for the mindset niche in the Spanish market, and like he took off because he was one of the first few to ever do it. And so it's the same thing here. You're using all of your knowledge that you already have to bring it like to the Bulgarian market, and then just you're going to establish yourself as the authority. That is the key. Because like short form is a thing, but like long form, once you establish yourself as an authority there, it's over. Like in a really good way. So there are a couple of more things in here. So when I was mentioning, you mentioned like you have the laptop, you have the MacBook, and you can do videos like that. Super simple videos that you can do. I'm just gonna give an example here. Is videos like, let me just, I'm trying to like look for the specific example. I'm trying to, yeah. So videos like this, in which you literally like have your laptop, you have like a whiteboard or whatever, and you have things on the whiteboard. Yeah, you have things on the whiteboard, so it's like a lot more visual for people, a lot easier to understand. This is also super good because it's more like it's more professional in a way. It's not just you talking, it's like you're making use of like some visual stuff. And here, for example, you can, if you have like diagrams or like images that you can use for Pinterest or whatever, you can put those into the whiteboard, and then you can literally do a screen recording, and that's a video in and of itself, right?
And there is no need for heavy editing, I see. Yes.
Say that again?
There is no need for heavy editing.
No. So this is a huge thing with YouTube. Just so it's easier for you, don't try to like edit, like, do a crazy editing with like transitions. Like, we don't need that. If you see videos like this is literally like at the desk, just like talking. That's it. Like,
easy.
I'm trying to tell everyone in the program, like, it's so easy once you understand that you don't need like crazy editing. What you really need is to double down on the value that you provide, and for you already it's huge. So you just sit at your desk or whatever, wherever you want to sit. You film one take. You don't need to like, you want the video to be raw. You want the video to be authentic, right?
Yeah.
Don't stress about like pauses. Don't stress about like like none of that. Like you want the video
Yeah.
to be authentic, and then you can literally pull that into your editing software, cut the intro, cut the outro, and boom, that is the video. Now, obviously, some videos you might need to like do some cuts here and there because that happens. But the idea is like, how do we go from an idea? If I go back here, how do we go from like an idea to the final video? Right? Like, what is the time for this? How do we make this like as short as possible? Like, I've had videos in which I literally like I sat down even with my iPhone, I just filmed the video, and like in a matter of like 1 hour, I had the video done and posted on YouTube, like uploaded on YouTube, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you take like 5 days for this is way too slow, especially right now, because what you have is like momentum, right? So there are 3 big things that we will need to focus on with this entire strategy and with like building your brand. It's like, the first thing is intention. Second thing is intensity. And the third thing is velocity. So intention, you already have a great intention, which is like helping people deal with this pain from the heartbreak, right? Intensity is like how intense are you with like delivering the value in specific videos, right? How passionate are you about all of this? As we mentioned in the like previous calls as we talked about, you already like, brother, you already have like a crazy awesome story, right? So it's literally bringing that passion that you already have in the videos, which you're currently doing with short form, right? You take that to long form. This is awesome. So intensity. And then velocity, this is basically the speeds, right, that you're uploading content, that you're creating. And because
that's what I'm lacking. These 2 things I have. First thing, second thing, easy.
Yeah.
Third thing is problem.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm mentioning here. So for for the speed, for the velocity, what I would really try to focus on is pick one day throughout the week. Let's say you have a day which is like more free, right? Let's say
tomorrow. Tomorrow I have full day tomorrow free.
Okay, cool. So Tuesday. Okay, so let's say we pick Tuesday. Every week you prepare 2-3 YouTube videos, like the topics. You prepare them for Tuesday. And on Tuesday, that's your day in which you just film. Like the number one task is to just film and get the content out there. So you don't have to sit the entire week like filming every single day, because like that's just not possible right now and it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And as long as you film 2-3 YouTube videos every Tuesday, you will constantly have content to put out there, right? Because the thing that I would do is try and like post 2 YouTube videos per week right now. And this could be like you do one on, let's say you do one on Wednesday. This is what I'm currently doing, by the way. So I'm doing one on Wednesday and I'm doing another one on Sunday.
Is this specifically why Wednesday and Sunday?
So Sunday, this is because most people are at home on Sunday. They're chill, on a Sunday afternoon. They're gonna see like, hey, Georgie uploaded another video. Cool, let's watch because I got some free time, right? On Wednesday, for me, I just picked Wednesday because it's in the middle of the week, so it's not like too. It's not too at the beginning. It's not too at the end. Like it's not too intense. It's just the middle. I don't know. But like the Sunday, if you just want to start with one YouTube video, I would definitely pick Sunday. Okay, awesome.
I commit to 2.
Awesome. Yeah, and then basically with so with the kind of like upload schedule, what I would do right now is try to focus on, like, I would do one video which is like more mindset. So it's literally you supernatural, like you just talking with some chapters that are prepared. These are videos just like this. So it's still an amazing topic, super valuable, but you just talk, right? Like you just have some points prepared and then you talk. It can be 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes. It doesn't matter. Like there are no rules with this.
Last time I started speaking, brother, it's 21 minutes. I barely started. then I think, okay, maybe I stop because it's too much for people. But I can go like this for a long time.
No. So it's the idea is I'm not saying like you gotta make videos of like 4 hours long, right?
No, I understand, but I speak something valuable, and I have 3 things I want to share, and I'm 17 minutes. I'm only on first one.
Yeah. So this is another like a caveat to that. So when you have like videos that you have the big topic, let's say losing yourself after a breakup, and you help people with that, right? Let's say this is the big topic. Then you have the title. And then when you get to the actual video, you make sure the intro for the video, the intro is basically the setup and delivering the promise that they're going to get from the video. You make sure the intro is maximum like 1 to 2 minutes long, meaning this is how I do my intros. Like, hey guys, in this video today, I'm gonna show you how you can find yourself again after a bad breakup. Let's say you lost yourself, you lost your self-confidence. If you're in that situation, I'm gonna help you with this video. And
this is the hook, the context.
The context, yeah. And I'm gonna walk you through some steps, but just before we start, just a little bit of context about me. If you're new to the channel, because your channel is gonna be new, right? I'm Georgie. You give them like a 2-minute context. You don't like go into like a huge 50-minute story. Right? And then you go into like the chapter number 1, whatever you wrote on the thing, right? Now within like each of these chapters, you can expand for however long you feel like, really. Like there are no rules in here. What matters is like with the YouTube videos, the number one thing that you have to keep in mind is like the flow of the video. So does the flow make sense? You can spend 5 minutes on a topic. You can spend 30 minutes on a topic. What really matters is, does it make sense for the viewer? Because every time you go into a YouTube video, I want you to get into this mindset of, let's say you are the one dealing with the breakup right now. Would this video really help you?
Yeah.
And you don't do the videos for you do the videos for them. So you obsess with their problems more than you obsess with your own problems.
Yeah.
And you're like, how do I make the best possible video that really helps? It can be 50 minutes, it can be 20 minutes, it doesn't matter. But like the flow of the video, how do I make it so I take them
basically,
from...
I know, because I follow Chris Voss. He's speaking about talking with empathy. They need to feel relaxed. They need to feel relatable to you, what they're saying, your story, this, that. Then if I need to go, I go three points you mentioned. 3 chapters: chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3.
You can do as many as you like. There's no rules with the chapters. Again, it's really, does it make sense for the actual video that I'm making?
Yeah, I won't start making the video, I tell you now, without having this kind of layout. Like the intro, specific, even for the intro, I would like to prepare my intro like Alex Hormozi. Every time he's saying, I'm Alex Hormozi, I make more than CEOs of this combined together. Like he has prepared something. He's always mentioning this like when he's saying his credentials, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I will have to prepare this, because this is important for me. When I have intro and I have the story and I have this layout of the chapter 1, chapter 2, I can speak along. I know myself. But if I don't have no structure, then problem.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm kind of like giving you the structure right now. So the entire thing with the intro, you have to think of your life so far. You have to like get used to. It's kind of like you have to look at your life so far like a movie that you can explain in a matter of like 1 to 2 minutes to everyone. For example, for me, every time, like I've said this story like so long that is gotten boring for me, but like I know that whenever I have to like present like some context for me, I can say something like, I'm Andre, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a business owner, I make content, I help others grow their personal brands and scale. Ever since I was a kid, I used to create stuff. I've always had this gift of being creative. I did music for most of my life. I dropped out of college. I stopped making music. And then I went full into business. I built 3 companies. and I ran them all at
Yes.
once, I had a mental breakdown that made me stop all of that and go into creating content. This is how my personal brand started. In a matter of like less than 12 months, I gained almost 200,000 followers. I'm now helping other coaches and content creators and
Yes.
business
Yes.
owners scale their brands. And now I'm here, you know, like boom. It's kind of like a story that you constantly have to have in your mind. So for you,
This I studied this 12 stages of the hero's journey. You know this?
yeah, exactly. I mean, the hero's
Yeah.
journey is something that we talked about in the program. Remember, like in the first level.
Oh yeah. Sorry. I learned from you. Yes, of course.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's exactly that. Is like you have to get good at being consistent with your story because you mentioned podcasts. You will start going on podcasts like this podcast, that podcast. You start to film a lot. You have to get into the habit of like almost treating yourself like this hero of a movie, and you can tell that story in like 2 minutes, and it's like consistent
Yeah.
every time, and it would also give you the clarity and make it easier for you whenever you're like filming because as you mentioned
Yeah.
so to break this down and to make it like super simple, what really matters with this is like what is the intention in your heart and do you actually want to help people? That's it.
Yeah.
The whole like structuring thing, this is all for you to gain the clarity so you remove all of that like overthinking from your mind so that you focus on what really matters. Because I've seen a lot of content creators in this space with like dealing with heartbreak, dealing with all of this, but you can see they're not like their heart is not really in it. So because you're writing a book, because you're putting a book out as well, because you're preparing for podcasts as well, like right now we have to show the true, like really authentic side of Georgie, of who you are.
Yeah.
Because the
Yeah.
more people, and I've mentioned this thousands of times, like your pain right now is your platform.
Yeah.
Boom. So we constantly like every time you make a video, you have to mention a quick story about like, hey, this is how I dealt with it. This is how once like you know, remember when you joined the program, we had that first workshop, the first call, and you told me your
Yeah.
story. It's that thing so that people can see that, oh, wait a minute, this person like genuinely like he's not just another guru, like YouTuber or whatever. Like he's a real person that went through stuff. Because in this journey of like, if we make it from like 1 to 10, in this journey of like understanding mindset, understanding dealing with heartbreak, evolving, let's say you're an 8 right now, you might be a 9, you might be a 10, I don't know, but let's say you're an 8, right?
Yeah.
You can help everyone up until that point. So people that are a bit behind, right?
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
that you're ahead of. And with the YouTube stuff especially, you have to get into this point of you don't treat YouTube, you don't treat the videos like this strategic, like, you know, I have this script, I have
That's
this,
not. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just
That's
normal.
not problem.
Like people complimented you for the first video, which is a great sign. Like, you know, you're authentic, you're like like that's it.
I'm like this in my life. I'm like this even more now because I'm also working with a therapist about my childhood problems like avoidant issues, all this stuff. Now I'm dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
So I see I'm becoming more and more real, authentic, raw, just accepting myself. So that's definitely people are complimenting me for this.
Exactly. So yeah. Does this make sense so far? Will we
Definitely makes sense.
What we covered?
Yes. I just wanted to ask you. You said intro to story should not be more than 2 minutes, right?
So this is just a general rule for videos.
Yeah.
Obviously, if I'm making a video saying how I dealt with my heartbreak, or like I had a bad breakup and I moved to India for 6 months to live with monks, this is a video in which I have to go in depth with my story, right? But if I'm making a video like how to deal with breakup, or like give me 10 minutes and I will help you like with your breakup, in that you don't want to just put the spotlight on your story for like 30 minutes, like just storytelling. You want to also give the lessons. As a general rule for intro, whenever a video starts, in the first 1 to 2, this is like how to think about it so that you're relaxed when you're filming. I have to mention what the video is about and what people will get in the first 2 minutes, right? So the video starts somewhere along the 2 minutes mark. You have to be like, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to or like in this video we're gonna talk about this. In this video you're gonna get
Yeah.
this, just so you don't start the video like just randomly talking, right?
Yeah, definitely. Got it. Because I see how Hormoz is shooting. He's basically heavy on the hook
Mm-hmm.
for maximum 15-20 seconds.
Yeah.
And he's just after he's going straight into giving. And now he's even I think uploading 3 or 4 times per week. I see his volume is going up. So definitely I see the direction is definitely what you're saying right now. It's like more content, like more real content, just a good title, good thumbnail, like interesting. He's saying about the thumbnails also, he has some philosophy, but definitely love what you're saying right now. This curiosity angle is amazing. And about the intro, I have to be consistent. Definitely, I have to maybe you can also help me with that. Some future sessions, just craft a good, compelling story that is making me raw, authentic. At the same time, just have my credentials of being with monks and all this psychology and stuff like this.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't overthink it right now. I would literally just talk about like what you've been through.
Yeah, sure.
Because the thing is, right now it's all about like putting the reps in and about practice. Like the more videos you make, the more you will get familiar with like how you need to. Yeah.
I can become the best in Bulgarian this. I have zero doubt about this because I have proven this before with TikTok and Shorts. Everyone knows me with this now. But for me, most difficult part is starting. If I get into the tempo, if I have this, dedication every week, I shoot 2 videos, I make them on this day, and then we upload it on Wednesday and Sunday. If I start and make it 4 weeks like this, then it's non-stop. I can make it go on and on and on, non-stop.
What you gotta understand with all of this, you have to write this down if you need to. You've already been through worse things than this. Like I already went through worse things. I overcame worse things. Now this is easy. Now this is literally just talking. You don't even have to think about it like, oh, I'm creating this, complicated content. Like, no, I'm just talking, and I'm obsessed now with using my pain and what I've been through to help others.
Yeah.
And I mentioned this before. When you get into this space of like, oh my God, it's so hard. Like, you got to think like it doesn't matter because there are people out there who can use your knowledge so that they don't have to go through the pain that you went through. And so if as content creators, as entrepreneurs, if we're approaching this, especially right now, for example, you are an author as well. Like if you need to approach this from a really selfless place of like, it's not about me. It's like the content is not about me. The content is about helping other people.
Yeah.
And as I told you, if Tuesday works for you, boom, we film on Tuesday, we film some videos, and then we have videos, once you get into the rhythm, and I'm going to help you with this, once you get into that rhythm, you can film like 4 videos in a day back to back, and then you have videos for 2 weeks. So you don't have to stress out about it. Right? So it's literally right now it's just about like structuring things.
Let's do it. I'm very excited about this because you definitely make it simple for me. You're correct. It should not be complicated. It's really about people. To be honest with you, I don't make it for money. I know myself. I can do this even for free, and I'll be happy. I need something to eat also.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly, brother.